I close my eyes and I can see the world that's waiting up for me, that I call my own. Through the dark, through the door, there's no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care, so call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design, 'cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head, a million dreams are given.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I thought I would make a video today about vocal maintenance. It was a video that was requested and I thought I would put it alongside a little tune from The Greatest Showman, because who doesn't like show tunes? So what I want to talk to you about today is vocal maintenance. So that involves vocal warm-ups and also a little bit of vocal anatomy and what's happening to the voice when it can get a little bit uncomfortable, if you like. First of all, what I want to talk to you about is the body and sort of what encases our voice. So when your voice is tired, it can sometimes mean that you are tired. Have you been sleeping? This is the question. Now, sleep is a really important part of our vocal practice. It's the only time that the larynx properly relaxes and properly rests. So it's really, really important that that you do get a lot of sleep, especially if you're working, especially if you have a lot of gigs on or you have a studio session coming up. The other thing is stretching. Now, stiffness in the body can really affect our voice. When we are on our phones all the time, hunched over our phones, if we are on the computer all the time and we're sort of hunched over our screens and we're sat down, you can end up with a bit of a stiff back, and you can also end up with a bit of stiffness in the neck. This really affects your voice. When you are preparing to sing, you can just do some stretches. So you can basically just kind of do a really standard, I'm not going to do it now because you're not going to be able to see it properly, but roll down to like little side stretches, like stretch the neck kind of up and down, and it makes a huge difference to our voice. Now, the other thing that I want you guys to be aware of is what happens to the actual voice. So what's happening inside our larynx. The voice is made up of, well, it's made up of a lot of things, but it's got two vocal folds. Now, the two vocal folds are kind of like little flaps of membrane tissue, little kind of mucousy tissue, and they oscillate. So they vibrate like this. Now, when the vocal folds are tired, what it means is they can sometimes get a little bit puffy. Now, this can happen when you are dehydrated, so you're not drinking enough water. It can also happen if you are kind of pushing the voice. When the vocal folds don't close, it means that you get those little kind of bubbles of air coming through, which kind of gives you that sort of slightly hoarse sort of sound to your voice, which you don't want. Now, the ways that you can remedy this are, stretching is actually a really, really good thing to do to remedy the voice. But another thing that you can do is steam. Now, I use this Dr. Nelson's inhaler. As you can see, I've broken the top and I'm now using Sam's trombone mouthpiece. Shh, you'll never know. This is really great. So steaming the voice is a really useful tool. The reason that you steam is because when we inhale, that's the only time you can get anything onto your vocal folds. So when you swallow, your larynx, the epiglottis, which sits on the top of your larynx, comes down over the top to protect your lungs, and it goes down your esophagus and into your stomach. Now, when you're taking a breath in, the epiglottis in the larynx opens up and allows the moisture to get in. Now, the moisture from steam will then get directly onto your vocal folds and just kind of ease them up a little bit, and it will create a bit more of a healthy environment for them. Swallowing things, like I said, it doesn't actually get onto the vocal folds, which is a reason why things like cough sweets and things that actually numb you aren't very good. The reason that your body is hurting is because it's trying to tell you something. So rather than numbing that, listen to it. So when you numb something in your body, it means that you might use it more than you should. So for instance, if I have a numb throat because it's hurting, I then might sing on it and actually end up with a much worse situation than I started with. So doing these kind of natural exercises such as stretching, steaming is a much better way to look after your voice. Another really good way is blowing bubbles. Now I have a very nice collection of straws. As you can see, this one is a nice red polka dot straw. I also have some in the gold variety. So what you can do is you can blow bubbles. Now this is a really, really good way to reduce puffiness on your vocal folds. If you get I don't have one here, if you get a glass of water, I sometimes do it in a bottle because then the bubbles don't go over my face, and you kind of put the straw in about that far into the water and you just blow on the straw and try to keep a consistent pressure with your air. Blow into the water, and you'll be able to feel everything kind of opening up in the back of your mouth. Now that's going to be a really nice healthy thing for your vocal folds. It's going to help to reduce that puffiness, and also it's very safe. Now the other thing that we can do for the voice is something called fricatives. A fricative is a sound like a v or a zh or a z. Also that's a fricative. These again are really, really safe sounds for your voice. So if your voice is feeling particularly tired, doing some little sounds like this actually really, really help to open it up, to get everything moving nice and comfortably. So what I would do is just do a very small amount. You can even do it in kind of little, I don't know, minute bursts, and just doing a little but then also doing some little sirens, and just remember to be really gentle on the voice, because generally if our voice is tired, it's because we've been forcing it or we haven't been looking after our bodies and getting a bit tired and exhausted. So listen to yourself, listen to how your body feels, make sure that you're doing safe warm-ups. Those exercises that I showed you are really great. Also blowing bubbles, steaming, and sleep. So this is a good excuse for you guys to go and have a nice lie-in tomorrow. Hopefully that's been really useful for you guys. Do please follow my channel and give me a thumbs up because it really supports me. If you have any more requests of videos that you'd like me to do, just put them in the comments and I will do my best to create a little vlog. Here is the rest of that song from The Greatest Showman, guys. Thanks very much. Bye-bye. Bye.